joining me tonight. Joining me tonight. Before we get started with our Japanese personality test. Oh, I love these. I'm addicted to them. Addicted to them. You may get into your comfortable pajamas, brush your teeth, wash your face, plug in those electronics. Take any medication that you may need. And if you want, and I'm just suggesting before you jump into bed, that you might want to grab a piece of paper or a journal if you're going to do all of these personality tests, which I find so amazing. And every one of these personality tests actually shows you something different about your side. That has a cube test, which is a Japanese personality test. The Japanese have really figured out a way for us to delve into the depths of our psyche and understand ourselves better through these very interesting tests. So if you have not subscribed to the channel and you would like to do so at this time, please click that subscribe button. And if you like this whispered content, then hit that thumbs up. And I will make a Kokology or psychological test playlist for you all. Alright, so I want you to close your eyes now that we're ready to go, just right now. Close your eyes and clear your mind. I don't want the hustle and bustle of today or yesterday, or just take this time for yourself and empty your mind. Completely empty it and just relax your facial muscles. Relax your shoulders. Take a deep breath in to your belly and relax all of your belly muscles. Relax your butt muscles. No clenching. So now that we're nice and relaxed, I want you to picture yourself in a desert. A vast, empty desert with nothing but desert. And now I want you to picture a single cube in the middle of your desert. So the first thing you're gonna do, if you want to write it down, or if you can keep all this in your mind, in as much detail as you can, but keep it simple. Describe the cube that you see, such as how big is this cube? Do you see the cube embedded in the desert sand? Or is it simply on the surface? Is this cube floating or moving around at all? So once again, you're gonna describe this cube in as much detail as you can. How big is the cube? How big is it? Do you see the cube embedded in the desert sand, or is it simply on the surface? Is the cube floating, or is the cube moving around? Is your cube hollow inside, or is it completely solid? Now remember, there is no final score. This is just enlightenment to your own self. There are no right or wrong answers, so just allow your thoughts to come to you. Like we did in the first video, whatever first comes to your mind is the one you want to go with. So just try to get as much detail as possible. How big is it? Is it embedded in the sand? Is it just on the surface, floating or moving around? Is the cube hollow inside or solid? I will give you a moment. As you listen to my dog snore. Emptying out your mind. Alright, if you're done jotting how your cube looks, you're gonna build on this. You're gonna build on your image of your cube. Your desert, your cube, a ladder appears. And again, I want you to describe it. Where is the ladder in respect to the cube? Is it above or below or against the cube? Is your ladder old? New? Like someone had just built it with fresh wood? Or long or short? What is the ladder made of? Steel, wood, glass, straw, whatever you want it to be made of. What is the first thing that comes to your mind? It can be any material, plastic, whatever first comes to your mind. There's no wrong answer. As you look at the ladder, a horse now appears. Please describe for me what you see. So you're staring at your ladder. That is above, below, or against your cube. It is old, new, long or short, and it is made out of some kind of material. And as you look at this ladder and the cube, you see a horse that appears. Please describe for me what you see. In respect to the cube, tell me where you see the horse. Is it close to you or close by your cube? Is it far away? Is this horse standing still? Or if he's moving, which way is he moving? Is he moving toward you? Or is he moving away from you? Or maybe he's just running perpendicular. Or maybe he's just standing, bucking and kicking. That's all. What do you think? What comes to your mind? What does his horse look like it's doing? What does a horse look like? What color is it? Does it have a long mane, a long tail? Is it a thin, small horse? Is it a large, draft horse? What does the horse look like to you? Maybe it doesn't look like a horse at all. I don't know. So remember, these details are going to be important later. So if you need to, and you haven't yet, because you just started this and now you're curious, grab a piece of paper and write your answers down, because the answers will mean something in the end. Now you see flowers in your desert. Where are your flowers growing in your desert? Where are they growing? Are they growing next to you? Far away? Where are they growing? What do you see your flowers growing in your desert? How many flowers do you see? How many flowers? How many flowers do you see? Can be any number. Any number. Are these flowers strong and healthy? Or are they wilting and dying? Are they strong and healthy, or wilting and dying? So we're going to move on. Still in the desert. There's still a cube. There's still your ladder. There's still your flowers. But now there's a thunderstorm over the desert. Where do you see the storm? Is it far away on the horizon, or close to you? Is the horse close to the thunderstorm? The ladder, the flowers? Where is the storm in relation to this entire image you've created in your mind? Is the storm affecting anything in your picture? Is it affecting how your horse is acting? Is it moving your cube around? Is it scaring you? However you feel the storm is affecting anything in the picture. Is there strong winds in this storm? Or is it simply straight downpour? And what kind of storm is it? Is it a big, dark, looming storm? Or one of those storms that quickly pass you by? Now that we have our storm described and written down and all the details, and we have all the details of our flower in the desert, how many, how strong, if they're healthy or wilted. Our horse, what he's doing. Where is the horse in respect to the cube, close or far? And what your horse looks like. And then we have the ladder. Is it above or below or against the cube? Is the ladder old, new, long, or short? What is the ladder made of? As you look at the ladder, then your horse appears. And of course, lastly, we talked about your cube. How big is it? Do you see the cube embedded in this desert sand on the surface, floating or moving around? Is the cube hollow inside or solid? So I just kind of went backwards to forwards to make sure everything was there. Now are you ready to hear what it says about you? All of your answers. Well, here we go. The size of the cube is your I or ego. So the size of the cube is directly related to your impression of yourself. A big cube depicts a more confident person, bold, strong, and willing to be seen. A smaller cube introduces the possibilities of you rather being the more shy, introverted, modest type who would much rather blend in than stand out. A cube standing on the desert surface implies stability. You probably know what you want from life and you intend to get it. Logic and precise. Well, a sunken cube is one covered with sand, points to the more pedantic one, and type that remains meticulous in all they do. A floating cube connects to the more artistic type of person. That's what I wrote down, or what I thought in my head. Often you're dreamers and creators as well as the spiritually elevated. Let's say your cube was spinning or moving. This then refers to your open-mindedness, your spontaneous and adaptive nature. A solid cube tells you that you know how you are and are not easy to manipulate and carry self-assurance. So if your cube is completely solid, nobody's taking you for a ride. A hollow cube lets us know that you are still busy discovering your inner self. The latter, they are your friends. How you imagined your ladder may tell much about your close relatives and friends and how to treat them. A ladder that is standing apart from the cube implies that you probably resolve most of your own issues without the aid of family and friends. A touching ladder to your cube would mean that you are not completely dependent on your friends and family, but you do rely on them for support and guidance at times. And you know that you can count on them if you need them. The more codependent person would, for example, have a ladder that is firmly pressed up against the cube for supporting the cube. Should your ladder be higher than the cube, you value your family and friends highly and look up to them. A ladder at equal height would mean you see them as such. They are equals. So you can kind of go back in your mind's eye and think, did I see the ladder equal to my cube? Or was it raised a little bit up? Remember, these are no right or wrong answers. They're just what you are building here. Lower a ladder or shorter than a cube would mean that you regard yourself as a leader or alpha type. The older ladder is a direct result of your subconscious relating to how well or how long you have known your friends. Let's say that you have a brand new ladder, then the relationships you have in your current space are probably mostly new, or do not know you as well. An old ladder would imply long, enduring friendships. The amount of steps in the ladder refers to the amount of people in your circle. 3 to 5 would rather have a handful of friends. And then more than 12 refers to you having a few friends, but you are also entertain acquaintances. If your ladder has a lot of steps, means that you probably enjoy being the social butterfly. Now to the horse. The horse is your partner. Are you seeing a sturdy brown working horse? Then a dependable and reliable partner is what you want in a partner. If you saw a glamorous, prancing horse, you would be the type of person that values the outward appearance more and might need someone that you would like others to approve of. While a unicorn or Pegasus might reveal unrealistic expectations, insecurities or uncertainties in a relationship would be depicted as a horse moving away from the cube, whilst a horse moving towards the cube would be a sign of a new relationship or something that strengthens the bonds of an older one. A close relationship would be revealed by a horse that is closely to the cube. On to the flowers. The flowers are your kids. The number of flowers means how many children you would like to have received by your side. It could also imply something you have created or mother, so to speak. A vibrant blossoming garden reflects on the health and prosperity of your children, as well as your relations with them. A cube that is overgrown with flowers could imply that your children are kept very close. This could be drained or heavy on oneself at times. Make sure you keep a balance. So if you have wilted or dead flowers, this be a sign of broken or lost relationships. Be sure to water your garden. Take a look at the distance between the cube and the flowers. Now look at the relations you have with them in that respect, and ask yourself how close you are to your children. So is your cube close to your flowers, or far away? The storm is associated with your fears. A thunderstorm symbolizes threat and anxiety with yourself and your surroundings. If the storm is vaguely in sight or on the horizon, you are at a more peaceful inner place. However, the closer the storm, the closer the immediate threat. Should the storm engage in any of the elements without affecting them, you consider the threat manageable and you have confidence in your ability of resolving matters. If you imagined the storm affecting any of the elements within your picture, then you might currently feel overwhelmed wouldn't do it at a party where there's other people influencing you. But I definitely would lie down and listen to this video. Meditate first and just let everything go out of your mind before you start to make your desert. Because it has to be natural and the first thing that comes to your mind and detailed. Write it down once you have that. Take a deep breath and move on. Make sure the kids are sleeping. Make sure your animals are being quiet. Because all of this can affect your answers. You really have to do this in a very peaceful state of mind so you can get a clear definition of what you're really thinking. I mean, if you're at the office trying to do this, then I would think that your answers would be more aggressive or stress related. Maybe you're having a very hard day, your storm's going to be close to everything and it's going to be firing away. So that would not describe how you feel about your life. You know, I mean, that's just what you're doing at the time. And yeah, everybody gets stressed. But in general, the basic way you feel about your children and how close they are. I mean, I wouldn't do it after I had a fight with somebody like my spouse or my child, because then maybe you would feel like your child is not as close to you because maybe words were said or something like that. So you see where I'm going with that. Just make sure everything is pretty calm and your mind is clear of anything that has happened during the day. And if you want to put your answers in the comments, that one was pretty intense. That one takes a lot of opening up your mind. I really love the Kokology. I think it's simple and yet pretty clear as to your basic personality. That's Jane's story. I hope you've enjoyed this video.